We want to thank you all for coming out this afternoon or this morning, and particularly we want to thank Daisy and Tom Hung for hosting us at Shuang He Supermarket. We are very glad. I got a nice tour of the market, so if you haven't gone in, if you need some meat for the weekend or anything, you guys can accommodate us, right? We'll be good. Daisy, oh, a discount even. Did you hear that? I think he said 35% discount? Oh, 10%, sorry. Well, Daisy and Tom have been on the corridor now for 8 years here, in addition to their store over in Minneapolis. They have a passion and a dedication to their business and to their employees here, and it's small business owners like them that make this corridor such a strong and vibrant place and such a wonderful place to be. It's incredibly important that as we build out the Central Corridor, that we make sure that strong businesses and strong business owners that are dedicated to our community can not only grow, but they can thrive and they can survive the construction period. We know that it's going to be a difficult process. We know that there are going to be ups and downs. The reality of construction of a light rail line like this means that there are going to be some challenges. We are not here to tell you that this is going to be without any kind of challenge or any kind of difficulty, but we are here to say that as a community we are dedicated to make sure that we do everything that we can to help the business owners on this corridor to meet the challenges and to deal with the construction so that they can not only survive but they can thrive after that. Primarily, we're here today to announce the Business Resource Collaborative and a Ready for Rail action plan that will provide information, coordination, and support resources to help businesses and property owners along the corridor. We've heard over the last couple of years, the City of Minneapolis, the City of St. Paul, the Met Council, and others have heard about the concerns and the fears of business owners along the corridor. We began working together to help corridor businesses and property owners, first by addressing the loss of on-street parking, 2, providing no-cost or low-cost marketing services, 3, planning ahead with each business to make sure access is maintained throughout the construction period. In 3 words, we want to help businesses, first prepare for the impact of light rail transit, B, survive during construction, and C, thrive after the line starts running along University Avenue. The Collaborative's Ready for Rail action plan focuses resources on those 3 goals, and today you'll hear about the work that's already happening. We have timely ongoing construction information, a range of one-on-one business services, we have consulting services, we have financial planning and assistance for working capital and building improvements, and you'll hear some more from the business owners that have been affected by that. In addition, we are announcing today a $1.5 million small business loan fund. The fund was created from $1 million from the Metropolitan Council and $500,000 from the Central Corridor Funders Collaborative, and it offers a small safety net to those businesses that even though they're doing everything that they can possibly do, might face some challenges during the construction period of the light rail line. We'll work out some more of the details of the loan over the next couple of months. But at the bottom line is it'll be a 0% interest loan for the businesses. Repayment will be deferred until after the construction of the light rail, and so that the businesses, the corridor is completely open up. And depending on the circumstances, portions of that loan may actually be forgivable. Once again, we want to make sure that all of our businesses have the resources that they need to survive and to thrive. We are committed to this. The City of St. Paul, the City of Minneapolis, the Metropolitan Council, all of our partners are coming together to make sure that great business owners like Tom and Daisy and others that you'll hear from today are going to thrive and survive the construction period. We're very happy about the efforts that have gone on here, and to talk a little bit more about it, we're going to hear from our Metropolitan Council Chair, Peter Bell.
Thank you very much, Mayor Coleman. I want to also add my welcome to everyone here today to really celebrate the new initiative that we are undertaking to help businesses survive the construction of the Central Corridor Light Rail Line, and as Mayor Coleman said, thrive afterwards. You know, I have had a cliche that I have used with this project since its inception, which is on time and on budget. And I think equally important to that is what Mayor Coleman has just outlined, that we need to help businesses survive the construction, which will be daunting and challenging, and more importantly, thrive after the development of the Central Corridor line. When the project is completed in 2014, it will be a wonderful amenity, providing improved access to employment, education, and economic opportunities along the corridor and beyond, and be a significant regional asset. As Mayor Coleman said, business owners along the corridor have very legitimate concerns about getting to that day. When I have spoken to them, they have raised three principal issues: access, parking, and of course marketing activities. And we at the Met Council have worked significantly with them to address all three. We recognize there will be adverse impacts, but we are doing everything we can to make sure that businesses survive and thrive after construction. From the start of this project, we've had a team of outreach coordinators who have gone literally door to door, working with residents and businesses, listening to their concerns and developing specific tailor-made solutions. We've adopted plans that will limit construction on each segment of University Avenue, and equally important, require contractors to restore the street in front of any business within 150 days and sidewalks within 15 days. We've created a contractor incentive program to build a partnership with the community and encourage responsiveness to their legitimate concerns. And as you've just heard, the council has agreed to contribute $1 million to a $1.5 million loan fund to help businesses survive construction. During the next few minutes, we'll hear about the specific things we are doing in a collaboration to assist businesses along the corridor. Every one of us here today supports the opportunities LRT brings to the independent businesses along the corridor. And every one of us is committed to helping businesses prepare for the impact of construction and to thrive after it is complete. Let me now introduce Mayor Rybeck.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. University Avenue unites our communities with a model ribbon of opportunity that shows that every single person in every part of this community can be part of the American dream. We need to make sure that when this project is done, this is an even better example of opportunity. It's even creating more jobs, and more important than anything else, it's a model for how transportation and opportunity work together. That's not a slam dunk, folks. That's tough work, and it's tough work because there is going to be change during this whole period of time. The message today is when change comes to small business, you're not in it alone. The cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Metropolitan Council, and an unprecedented coalition of 11 local and national funders are standing behind every single small business on University Avenue. That's exactly what it takes to build community. University Avenue, better than almost any street in our region, has really shown that in tough times, tough entrepreneurs can lead the economy, moving faster than anyone else. So now we have to stand with those businesses. We happen to be standing in a spot that you could call almost ground zero for entrepreneurship in this community. Here we have a great grocery store that I know from Minneapolis because I know that they happen to have a line on mangoes that are dramatically better than any others in the cities. I don't know how you do it, but it is great, and standing next to them is their directly from the farm, exactly. Local food, that's great. Across the street, we see a bank that is led by one of my heroes in life, Bill Sands, who I do see in the back there, who very quietly for many years has been investing one at a time in small businesses. And when Western Bank could have moved their headquarters somewhere else, they stayed and they invested and they focused on jobs and housing. This is what we need to do. 20 years ago inside Western Bank, Bill Sands introduced me to a real smart guy who was doing some great work on Rice Street, Mike Tamale over there, who is a literal genius at helping small businesses. The global market is there because of Mike Tamale. I could go around this whole area. University Avenue is leading the region in creating small businesses. We've got to stand with them, and that's why it's so exciting to be part of this partnership today. Lots of people are part of this, but one who I really want to introduce you to is a guy named Chris Ferguson. Now, Chris is an example of the type of business who we want to help with all of it. We've already been doing some of this in Minneapolis. There are 3 businesses. Brookdale Auto at 2929 University Avenue got a $10,000 loan as part of our work. Metro Petro, great name. 2700 Universities got $75,000. Anybody here from Metro Petro yet? Oh, okay, good. Willie Willett works at 3338 University's got $36,000 from it. But the person I want to introduce you today here is an entrepreneur who is just really one of the real growing examples of smart entrepreneurs on this street. Chris Ferguson is an entrepreneur who owns the Dairy Queen, the Orange Julius over at 716 Washington, over by the University at Oak and Walnut. He's on the board of the Stadium Village Commercial Association. He's been a really visionary business person. We want Chris to tell you a little bit about how they're looking at it and use this as an example of how some of these businesses with these smart, strong owners can have partners in government. So I'll turn it over to Chris Ferguson.
Thank you, Mayor Ryback. I'm here today to talk a little bit from the BRC perspective. First of all, I joined the BRC, got involved back in late 2009. A lot of the work of the BRC and the First Friday group that preceded the BRC had already been well underway when I got involved with the group. I'd like to, at this point, acknowledge the hard work that group has done, the leadership that Jim Roth provided to that group early on to keep the group together and to keep the group working towards this goal and the package that you see before you today. The BRC, the Business Resource Collaborative, is really a unique group. We were able to bring together the local governments, the business organizations, and the community development agencies into one group to work collaboratively to bring forward a package of materials and a package of services for the small businesses and the medium-sized businesses up and down the corridor line. This corridor is really about building the community and building those businesses. It's not only about the businesses that are on the corridor today and helping those, obviously, as one of those businesses, we think that is extremely important, but it's also about creating an environment and creating an opportunity to expand the employment, expand the business environment, and expand the traffic along the corridor, which will help all the businesses up and down the corridor. This is the beginning of a long process. We are, as business owners, we are in a position where we are planning right now for what we know will be a loss of business and a loss of revenue and getting ready for that. We'll survive that period of time. When that period of time is done, we want to be ready and able to thrive and to expand our business, to grow our business, to add more jobs, to add more lines of business along the corridor so that we're able to take full advantage of all of the great work that's been done by the cities and the Metropolitan Council. The package that we've prepared as the Business Resource Collaborative is titled Ready for Rail. Inside the package, we have a checklist. We've created a checklist to help businesses really get ready and understand all of the services and options that are available for them. I will say, as a business owner, before I got involved with the Business Resource Collaborative, one of the biggest challenges I had is I didn't know all of the things that were available from both the Met Council, the City of St. Paul, and the City of Minneapolis. A key piece of what we need to do is make sure that all of the businesses up and down the corridor know all of the services available to them and allow them to be able to take advantage of those services so they can properly prepare, properly weather the storm, and then be ready to thrive when the construction is done. We also have a website where all of these pieces of material will be available, readyforrail.net. So any of the businesses that will have packages that we'll be distributing to all the businesses. If somebody needs another package, if somebody needs more information, the website is there, ready and available, and we'll be continuing to add more information to the website, continuing to update on success stories, how people are overcoming the challenges around construction and around the rail line. Finally, I'd like to echo what has been said before. The success of this line is really not only the construction on time, but also the ability to have the businesses survive and the businesses grow once it's done. One example of a business that's been on the corridor for 20 years is the Best Steakhouse 25 years. The Best Steakhouse, which is owned by Mike and Pam. I'll just say Mike and Pam from the Best Steakhouse. Mike and Pam.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Mike. My wife, Pam. We've been in business at the Best Steakhouse for 25 years. Business has been fantastic. We found out about the light rail coming up university. I started worrying. I told my wife I might start drinking again. But that didn't happen, though. But we are getting a lot of help from everybody. U7, parking lot is a problem. We got a hold of Mr. Bailey, and he's going to give us a grant for $50,000 to fix our parking lot, which this is very, very nice for us, because we usually fix a parking lot, pets here, pets there, pets down there. Now we can do the whole thing all at once. Thank you. Pam, you tell about the website?
With the help of U7 and NDC and Isabel, we have a website now, steak.com, and we're on
Facebook,
Facebook and
Twitter.
Twitter.
Questions?
What, for the sake of tape here, what is the time frame we're talking about for the tour here? And how many days will any individual business like this one be affected by construction going by?
Peter could talk a little bit more specifically about this, but the construction, which really, for all intents and purposes, underway in certain segments, and will begin more fully later this fall. The commitment is to have no business be disrupted or no street torn apart for more than 150 days in front of any one business during the entire cycle. Correct, Peter? Is there?
That's correct.
So that is the goal. But even that, we know that even 150 days is a very significant chunk of time. So that's why the commitment to having access throughout that period, making sure there's signage, making sure that no business is cut off. Literally business by business by business, it's been mapped out where there's access that can come in from an alley, where there's access through an alternative point, in case the access is closed in front, or in those instances where there is no other entrance point, then the business access has to be maintained from the University Avenue side, and that has been to a business mapped out along the corridor.
Determine what are the qualifications criteria to receive a loan?
I think some of the details of that are yet to be worked out exactly, but the goal is again to look at each individual business need and the circumstances and what they need to bridge whatever challenge that they have during the course of the construction. So that's why we've said a zero interest loan, no repayment until after the construction is completed, and if appropriate, where appropriate, that loan may be forgivable, or at least portions of that loan may be forgivable. So we're going to work out some more of the details on it.
The city of St. Paul is going to be administrative. And Mike Tamau, go ahead.
Well, here, Peter, go ahead.
Well, the two other points I would make, just to what Mayor Coleman said. Signage and wayfinding is going to be very, very important during the construction period, not just parking and access. The second part is the construction, the incentive fund that we're setting up for the contractors that is going to have significant local input. This will create a huge incentive for the contractors to work on the 1,001 issues that can't be readily quantified. They're going to be coming up on a daily and on a weekly basis. Those are two very, very important provisions. As I indicated, the Met Council is putting in $1 million to this. The City of St. Paul is putting $500,000 into this. We're going to have $1.5 million for this business assistance fund. There's going to be a loan fund. The criteria has not been determined as yet. The Met Council is not going to be administering it. We're going to have a local business group that's currently working on the corridor actually administer the distribution of those funds and take primary responsibility for setting up the criteria. Some of those loans may be forgivable as well. That's going to be done, that's yet to be determined, and are going to be done on a case-by-case basis. Steve, what is the name of the group that's going to be administering it? It's going to be. It's going to be bid out. The group is. We're going to bid that out.
What's the maximum that a business can receive through this
We haven't, the criteria, that's part of the criteria that's going to be yet determined, and that has not been determined yet.
I guess the two complaints that I've heard already about this is A, the lack of specificity, and B, business owners don't think that's enough money for 2,000 businesses on this avenue.
Yeah, the question is the lack of specificity and is it enough money? And I'll take the second first. I'll readily acknowledge it's probably not enough money. The needs tend to always grow beyond or be larger than the available budget. Certainly, we're committing $1.5 million now. That's not to say additional dollars couldn't be added to that. I don't want people to take away that that's going to happen because I'm not predicting that. But I'll readily concede that that's an inadequate fund. But it's a start, and it really, I think, is a recognition on the part of both the City of St. Paul and the Met Council that businesses along this corridor have some legitimate concerns and some legitimate issues, and we have to address them. In terms of setting up the criteria, we want to be thoughtful about that, Laura. We really want to be intentional and thoughtful and make sure that the criteria is workable, and I'd rather do it right than quick.
Let me just add to that.
Yes, Mayor.
I just want to add, with respect to the amount of the money, Laura, it is, as Peter suggested, it's not, we would love to have additional resources to do that. But the important part is that $1.5 million is part of a overall strategy that looks at the individual needs of a business. So it is about maintaining access. It is about getting in and out as quickly as we can in terms of the construction. It's about the signage. It is about the network of people that are supporting each other's businesses. So when you put that $1.5 million together with the other pieces of the strategy, you start to really, go through the corridor and figure out how we can make sure that businesses thrive. Well, as I said at the beginning, we know this is going to be challenging. We know that there are going to be some really difficult moments, but we as a community are committed to do everything that we can to help people survive.
Now, will there be sections of university completely closed off at times of construction period? Or will there always be traffic? You can repeat the question.
The question is, will there be sections of University Avenue that will be completely shut off during the construction period? And it is my understanding that we're going to try to keep traffic flowing through University Avenue throughout the entire construction period. That's what our intent is. Now, it's not going to be like you see here today, but our intent is to keep traffic flowing. Other questions? Yes, Dave.
Could you assess so far how the project is done in terms of downtown St. Paul getting ripped up and how it's affecting businesses and getting around downtown signage and everything?
The question is, would I assess how the project has done so far in the relocation work that is already taking place in downtown St. Paul? And I think first I need to acknowledge the obvious. I'm not a disinterested party or observer with that. From my vantage point, however, it has gone quite well. That doesn't mean that there haven't been issues or concerns, but I think that we have dealt with them. We have a staff in place that, from my vantage point, has been very, very responsive. And I guess the best indication of that is what complaints have come up to me. Do you know what I mean? That haven't been resolved at the staff level. They tend to percolate up to me. And frankly, I have had none. That I haven't had a business owner call me up and say, darn it, you know what I mean? We've had this issue and the staff just has blown us off and hasn't resolved it. I have not had one complaint that has risen to my level, which is not to say there haven't been numerous issues. I just think that we've been responsive to those. And incidentally, I would make the same comment largely on the work that we've done already on the University of Minnesota campus. There have been a lot of small issues and concerns there, but by and large, those have all been resolved as well. Other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We should all have a nice little press conference and talk about it, but everybody should go in there and spend some money, because unless we are spending money, I'm going in to get mangoes. So, yeah.